a potential ceasefire. Hamas says it's ready to begin talks immediately on a deal with Israel after responding positively to a draft proposal from Egyptian and Qatari mediators. The group says it's prepared to engage in serious talks to implement the plan, which includes a hostage release and steps to end the war. The move comes days after US President Donald Trump announced that Israel had agreed to the 60-day ceasefire proposal and urged Hamas to accept the deal before conditions worsened. Hamas has been pushing for guarantees that any initial truce will lead to a complete end to the conflict, now in its 21st month. Just hours before Hamas agreed to talks, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reiterated his commitment to free all hostages in Gaza. A Palestinian source involved in the talks said the proposal would see Hamas release half of the remaining Israeli hostages, believed to be 22, in exchange for Palestinian detainees held by Israel. Two previous ceasefires, also mediated by Qatar, Egypt and the United States, brought temporary halts to the fighting and enabled hostage prisoner exchange. Well, Irina, bringing you back in to discuss this, of course, that there are key sticking points that have been there throughout the discussions of peace. Israel wanting Hamas to disband, be disarmed, and of course the return of all hostages, that they have agreed to this ceasefire. In return, Hamas are looking for these concrete confirmations that the war will end and there will be Israeli troop withdrawal. Do you think it's in Israel's interest to agree to Hamas's demands if it's likely to lead to this 60-day ceasefire and then potentially a more permanent one?
See how these goals can be simultaneously accomplished. By withdrawing, Israel guarantees that Hamas not only does not disband, but remobilizes and uses the opportunity to do exactly what it has done under ceasefire or partial withdrawal circumstances before, which is to retake the territories that have been swept and reconsolidate its control over civilian institutions, including mosques, hospitals, residential buildings, and schools. At the same time, Hamas certainly can understand that Israel, if it is committed to removing Hamas from power, cannot possibly withdraw completely and without ensuring that Hamas in turn will not start firing rockets at Israel or immediately planning a new round of future operations, even if they take a few years to implement. So I see this longer term duration as an impasse. It's one thing to bring back hostages and do some sort of an exchange and do a temporary pause for tactical purposes, but a longer-term peace requires a political solution that gets Hamas out of power completely and disarms any militant groups in Gaza, not just Hamas, but all others.
Yes, absolutely. Irina, stay with us. We will stay on this topic and look at some of the wider reactions, starting off